Welcome to Deakin Stadium and the last round of regular season NPL action in Canberra. It's Canberra Croatia versus Tuggeranong United. It is a huge game for those in green and white. Tuggeranong United knowing a win would put them in the top four. It's a big game for Tigers FC, who'll be watching on, knowing their fate lies in the hands of Canberra Croatia, the league champions, who were crowned for the 24th time after the Gungahlin United failed to win yesterday. I'm Russ Gibbs, your commentator. Joining me on the gantry at Deakin Stadium is Frank Keisha. Socially distanced Frank Keisha today.
I can stand closer if you like, Russ.
Can't hear you very well over there, mate. So the permutations, we talked about it yesterday, Frank. We went through it in details with everything that happened, and this one's fairly simple though, isn't it? Win or bust for Tuggeranong United. And to be honest, is it the attitude of Canberra Croatia that we should be looking at today, or is it the attitude of Tuggeranong United, or a combination thereof?
Look, a combination of both. I know you're going to ask me about the attitude of the Canberra Croatia boys. Look, they've got a lot to play for, even though they've secured top spot in the table and they've secured a place in the final. But the reason that they've secured a place in the final is because they've got competition for spots. Now, you look at the Canberra Croatia lineup, you look at their squad, you look at some of the players that aren't available today. None of these players are going to be dropping their guard and taking it for granted they'll be starting next week or the week after. So there's plenty to play for Canberra Croatia, even though it's not going to change their spot on the table.
Well, Tigers FC probably looking on. They know that their fate lies in the hands of Canberra Croatia. They're on 9 points. A Tuggeranong win knocks them out of the 4. So I'm pretty certain that Ryan Grogan and his team will be watching and waiting to see what the team news is for Canberra Croatia. Well, we can bring that to you now. They're lining up with a 4-2-2 formation with their under-16s entire squad in there. I'm only joking.
No,
Sam Brown. It's a pretty strong side that Dean Greenwich has put out there. Sam Brown is in goal. The back four is Jordan Lamb, Daniel Subasic, Matt Gerdebesha making his first start of the season, and even Pavlak. Nico Oider and Ryan Keir in front of them. Daniel Colbertaldo and Emilio Kishta in front of them. Front two of Daniel Barak, Jason Greenwich, pretty much as you were. The two changes from the team here last week. Pavlak comes in for Pochi, Gerdebesha for Gianpaolo.
Yeah, very good squad and a very good lineup. And I just wonder if you just affected the betting markets there, Russ, with your 16s comment, but see people that quick. It's a very good squad, like we said, and it's one that deserves to be top of the table on their performances so far this season.
It's a little bit of a reshuffle. Jordan Lamb goes into right back, Nico Oider back to probably his more effective position in midfield.
Yeah, and it's a structure that I haven't seen before this year at Deakin, being played out at Deakin. I know Luca Udia played it last year, the 4-2-2-2. Probably wasn't as successful last year, and it was something that they toyed with. I guess just see how it plays out and see if they actually remain in that formation over the course of the 90 minutes.
Mitch Stevens, Tuggeranong United, unchanged, unsurprisingly, for the third game in a row after they drew 1-1 with Monero Panthers. Jacob Wiseman in goal, 4 across the back, Sean Kiddie, Regan Walsh, Harrison Bunell and Sam Smith. In front of them, Cam Doherty, playing his 100th NPL match for Tuggeranong United today. Good loyalty for Cam Doherty, congratulations to him. Ewan Peterkin, Marco Gaia and Jamie Viencombe take up their position in front of Doherty, Andrew Slavic and Daniel Fulton, the front two.
Yeah, and that's a very solid lineup. They're getting that experience and youth mix happening now with people like Doherty and Fulton and Gaia along the likes of Bunell and the like. So, look, I think Mitch will be looking forward to this, and I hope that he just plays this game and goes out for the win and does everything he can to make that top 4, because if he comes into that top 4 playoff series having wins over Canberra Croatia and Gungahlin, they could be a little bit of a dark horse.
Substitutes for Canberra Croatia: Michael Pochi, Nick Bobolis, Marko Verkic and the young Mate Burasak, under-18s player, on the bench for a bit of experience today. Tuggeranong United, a little bit more experience on their bench. John O'Churek, Eddie Coggan, Daniel Felici, joined by Harry Truman, and a young goalkeeper for them, Christian Nell, 16-year-old, who's been with Tuggy since the juniors, under-30s to now. He gets a bit of experience in their bench.
It's fantastic, isn't it, to see the young guys coming through. We've seen more and more of it this year, and good luck to the young man if he does actually get on the field.
History being made here in Deakin Stadium as well. It's the first ever all-female refereeing lineup for an NPL1 match in Canberra. Georgia Girardello in the middle, Delphina Delmosky and Lauren Hargrave on the lines. We've mentioned it before, Frank. It's great for Canberra football to be leading the way in this kind of initiative.
Yeah, it's fantastic, and good luck to Georgie, Lauren and Delphina. I'm sure they'll have a great game, and Bring it on, Russ.
All three of them have been part of Capital Football's refereeing lineup in the past. This is the first time they've been put on a game together. Canberra, Croatia won the toss. Matt Gerbish, who's changing the teams around because of this sun that sets quite low behind us in this commentary box and going to make it a little bit difficult, Frank, for Jacob Wiseman in the first half.
Yeah, and that's obviously something that they'll be aware of, and being in their home ground, they're looking for as many advantages as they can get. So knowing this pitch better than anyone else, I think that's probably a smart move there from Matty.
Fourth home game of the season for Canberra, Croatia. Fair to say they've not been entirely impressive in their previous games here. A Dom Giamballo penalty earned them a point against Gungahlin United. 2 late goals in the last 6 minutes won the game against Canberra Olympic. And of course last week's heroics with 2 goals in stoppage time, which turned around a 2-1 deficit against Belconnen United.
Yeah, but having said that, good results. And even the one against Gungahlin, they played a large majority of that game with 10 men. So, credit where it's due. They've been outstanding this year. They've been very resilient, and this will be another test for them against a team that needs to win to make the top 4.
Against the Tuggeranong United, whose last 8 meetings with Canberra, Croatia have seen them win 3, draw 3 and lose 2, which is a great record against a side that's always up for the challenge. Regan Walsh early on, battling with Daniel Colbertaldo. Canberra Croatia are on an 11-game unbeaten run in the regular season in NPL football. Their last loss was in round 13, 2019 to Belconnen. 37 goals in that spell, 12 against.
Speaks volumes for their defence, doesn't it?
And winning games and knowing how to win them as well. Slavic, he was the last Tuggeranong man to score at this venue. Haven't scored a goal here, Tuggeranong, since 2017. Andrew Slavic bagged a double in that one in round 5.
Which is surprising, Russ, isn't it? Because they've had a reasonably good, well, from what we believe, is a reasonably good record against Canberra FC and Canberra Deakin and now Canberra Croatia. We'll see how they go. But
generally, the good results they have are at Canberra against this team. It's a long time without a goal here. They've only scored 4 in 7 games at Deakin Stadium and conceded 28 in that time. But it might all be about attitude. Nothing to play for Canberra Croatia except for pride. Top of the table and their unbeaten run, of course. Momentum into next week. Is Doherty playing his 100th game. Peterkin flicking it forward for Slavic. Going to put the pressure on Jordan Lamb, Andrew Slavic. Just a word on Cam Doherty. 100 games for one club at this level is a fairly phenomenal achievement.
Yeah, 100 games for any club in Canberra and not moving is something that I think every coach would appreciate, Russ.
Here's Sean Kitty looking to run a Vienkum. Gerbischer came across. Just how big a return is it for Matt Gerbischer in the side? He made such a difference when he came off the bench last week, winning that penalty.
Absolutely, it's he's probably arguably the best defender in the competition and has been over the large part of the last decade, whether it be here or at Belconnen. His presence is always felt by the opposition, and is a very good player. And even if you saw him last week, getting forward to win the penalty that pretty much changed that game against Belconnen, just speaks volumes of the to Matty.
Jacob Wiseman waiting for Colbertaldo, setting it forward. There is Gerbischer. Oida back in a more familiar midfield role for him after filling in central defensive duties last week. Ugrinic, Oida continuing his run. Young Harrison Brunel comes across. I believe the goal he was given last week may have been credited as an own goal, Frank. David Jenkins, I'm not sure that Jenkins would have wanted that, so we've gone with Brunel.
Yeah, it was on target, wasn't it, before it deflected in?
The argument is that he didn't get the foot on it. It was Jenkins.
Well, that's a bit different.
Yeah. I'm not sure David Jenkins particularly wants it against his name, though. Colbertaldo's touch. Ugrinic. Peterkin putting him under pressure. Smith trying to force his way out. And that should be a free kick. Colbertaldo brought down. I'm getting a call from my daughter. Better not take that. Smith nutmegs Colbertaldo. Marco Gaia. Opening stages of this one obviously going to be crucial. Gaia bundles his way past Jordan Lamb. Off he goes, running at Subasic and at Gerbischer. It breaks for Peterkin. And a free kick for Tuggeranong United.
Probably just needed to release just a little bit earlier there, Marco Guy. He'd done well to win the ball off Jordan Lamb, but a good little run there from Truman, I think. That he could just get slipped in. He was in behind the Canberra Croatia defence.
Free kick for Tuggeranong United. Dirty and Slavic over it. Had a great routine last week, Tuggeranong. This was similar to it. Slavic swings it in. It's off the head of Oidad. Might fall for Fulton. In the penalty area. Dirty on the volley. Well, that would have been one way to mark your 100th game. Never scored a goal for Tuggeranong United.
Yeah, we were talking about that earlier in the season. He's actually had a couple of shooting opportunities over the course of the year. He just 100 games, probably predominantly at the back. Probably just needs to practice those a little bit more, but that was a good chance.
Yeah, most of them from right back, to be fair. Not renowned for its goal-scoring tendencies. Here's Cole Bataldo. Good Bishop. Finds Ryan Keir. It's a bit loose from Pavlak. Godbisha helps him out. Walsh's header finds Fulton. Vienkum back towards the former futsal woo. And he's got there, Daniel Fulton. Chance here to pull it back. Opportunity for Slavic to hit it. Blocked at the first attempt and the second one over the crossbar. Livid with himself. Andrew Slavic, good chance that.
Massive opportunity there. Daniel Fulton was being a real presence at that last free kick. He's actually won the ball off Matty Gerbisser there and put it on a plate pretty much for Slavic. His first shot was blocked. The second shot was another great opportunity and he skied it over the top of the vacant Deacon goal.
We mentioned Tuggeranong tend to do quite well here in terms of performance. They've in fact only won one and drawn one here in 7 attempts. So they don't pick up many points, but they don't tend to go down with a whimper.
Having said that, Russ, I'm actually expecting a few goals in this today. I think Tuggeranong have to come at Canberra Croatia to win this game. If Croatia do manage to score first, then the handbrake will be off for Mitch Stevens' side, and I think it'll be full steam ahead to see if they can pull one back, which will create chances at the other end.
Cole Bataldo wins the free kick. It is an informed Tuggeranong United, unbeaten in the last 4. They've not done that in the NPL since round 18. Since 2018, rounds 1 to 4. And they haven't been, and in between that, they lost a FFA Cup game to Woden Western, Frank, and they haven't gone unbeaten in 4 straight for over 15 years.
Wow. And it's interesting, we've seen, just been noticing some of the results actually, Russ, in the other games. There's been a real sort of streak of results. I think Gungahlin now are 4 games without a win, and I think Olympic were in the same sort of boat. In a short season, it makes a big difference.
Pavlak swings at him, Vienkum knocks that away. The results yesterday mean that Canberra Croatia, Gungahlin United and Belconnen United have secured their top 4 spots. Canberra Olympic, Woden Western and Monero Panthers will play in the bottom 4 competition. Just remains to be seen whether it's Tigers FC currently sitting there or Tuggeranong United who will join which competition. Bunel. Kishler tries to get a foot on it. Oida gets in the way. Ugrinich helps it back in towards the penalty area. Barac puts his body on the line, but it's hooked clear by Vienkum. Pavlak sends it back towards goal. Barac scored the equalising goal here last week, so make it 1-1.
Impressive start, Daniel Fulton, so far, Russ.
It's looking sharp and up for it. I understand in the... I'll come back to that in a minute. Here's Cole Bataldo swinging into the penalty area. Smith needs to clear. Does well. I understand he's been bang up for it in the Tuggeranong WhatsApp chat this week. Really excited to be coming back playing at this level and almost in with a shout of finals.
Yeah, he's always, even when we had him at Olympic, he's always been a really good character around the club. Great leader, very responsible, very mature, and loves to win. Very competitive person.
Good Bishop.
Daniel Colbertaldo is creating a fair bit of angst in the back line of Tuggeranong as well. His movement's been exceptional so far.
Here's Walsh. Bringing it forwards. He's run into Ugrinich. Vienkum helps out. Are we noticing a little bit of a tactical switch here, Frank? Because we were led to believe that Daniel Fulton will be playing up front. It looks almost like a 4-1-4-1.
Yeah, and looks like Marco Guy might have even sort of deployed himself up front a little bit now.
Guy partnering Slavic perhaps, or is it almost a 3 in some respect?
Looks like a 3. Daniel Fulton's made his name as a sort of right back, right winger, and it looks like he's, having said that, the right fullback's just moved forward and he's sort of dropped in a bit. It just looks very fluid at the moment from Tuggeranong, which is going to create some headaches for the Deakin back four. Having said that, they're a very experienced back four.
Certainly is. Jordan Lamb, 107 games, Subasic 72, Matt Gudabisha 203, Ivan Pavlak 173. Buckets of experience in that back four. Here's Kishta, who's the leading scorer in this Canberra Croatia side. Good odds on that at the start of the season, I would imagine.
Yeah, well, he's even taking the penalties now, which is interesting. It was a big moment last week when he stood up for the penalty against Belconnen.
Slotted it in the 93rd minute, paved the way for Jason Ugrinich to win it 2 minutes later. What we thought was the title-winning goal. Kishta is swinging it into the penalty area.
Are we allowed to call it a title, Russ?
We can call it a title if we like. I was in the Canberra Croatia clubhouse beforehand and they're calling it a title. Wouldn't expect anything else.
Shock me.
Brown sliced that one. Slavic couldn't get a touch on it. Comes for Gaia, falls for Peterkin. Gaia twisting and turning, looking to slide it through here to Vienkum. Good challenge that from Gudabisha. Needed to be. Brought away by Lamb. Colbertaldo sends it forward, looking for the run of Jason Ugrinich. He's got goal side here of Sam Smith. Can he pull something back? Bunel was well positioned. Peterkin finds Doherty. Couldn't quite keep it in play.
Yeah, that's a bit sloppy there from Peterkin.
Not the best pass.
Yeah, it'll be a good contest down this right-hand side with Jason Ugrinich up against Sam Smith.
Here's Lamb. Oida's pass, but only out for a throw-in. We will be back here next week for a top four double-header in the final series at 1:30 and 3:45, I believe. And then the Riverside on Sunday for the same scenario. Round one of finals. Double-header there for the bottom four. Busy weekend. Colbertaldo driving forward, slip at the poor time for Regan Walsh. His team recovers though. Keir finds Kishta. Looks to cut inside Kitty. Stands strong. He's lost out here. Here's Ugrinich, and the flag's up. It won't count. And the most relieved man in Deakin Stadium is Sean Kitty.
Yeah, dangerous there. You can't lose the ball anywhere near your box when you're playing in defence. Kitty knows that. He's a good experienced player. He'll put that to one side. Probably tell us that he knew that Jason was offside anyway.
Wiseman sends it forward. Decent finish from Ugrinich, to be fair. In off the post.
It probably comes back to the question you asked me earlier in the day around attitude. Attitude looks like it's spot on, Russ.
Wouldn't expect anything more from a side that's been crowned 24th League champions for the 24th time.
Well, you wouldn't expect anything less from anyone pulling on that shirt. I mean, anyone that's been around Canberra for any period of time in the football circles knows that that means a lot.
Yeah, there's some unforgiving individuals in that clubhouse across the way. Kishta finds Barach. Colbertaldo. Nice ball wide to Ugrinich. And he's onside here. Jason Ugrinich. Only Barach to aim for in the penalty area at the moment. Taking on Smith, who stands strong again. Important toe in. Slavic back to help out. Smith. Gaia. Look for Vienkum. Only finds Oider. A trick, but it only finds Bunel. Slavic. Gaia outside. Slavic gone for the return. It comes infield to Peterkin. Does find its way to Slavic. Flag is up for offside.
Disappointing. You could have seen the whole line of Canberra Croatia defenders there. Young Slavic. Just keep an eye on Colbertaldo, Russ. I don't know if he's just tired or he's carrying a bit of a knock. He's just limping a bit.
It's in that false nine position that he played down at Tigers as well, which caused all sorts of problem for Kuma that day. Here he is, turning in midfield and raking a pass out towards Barac. Lovely ball and taken by Barac. Flag up again for offside. He's not happy with that, has a bit of a disagreement. And Giorgio Girardello, just a quiet chat to get him to calm down a little.
It goes almost back to what we said about Slavic before. He would have been able to see the whole line. Daniel obviously thinks he timed his run perfectly.
Lauren Hargrave in front of us disagreed. And she's the one with the flag. Good win, Gerda Bishop. Vienkum's touch. Oida wins a header. Here's Colbertaldo again. Nice touch for Kishta. Numbers forward here for Canberra, Croatia. Daniel Barac, one of them, peeled left. He stayed onside this time. Can he find a ball back to Kishta? Steps in field. Gets past Fulton at the second attempt. Gaia. Oida under pressure here, and Jordan Lamb is going to have to tidy up.
Maybe ruining some of those missed chances early on, Tuggeranong, because Canberra, Croatia are really starting to turn the screws here. Russ?
Well, they've had the best chance of the game, haven't they, in the first 15 minutes? Andrew Slavic blazing over the bar. Touch from Fulton. Lots of space in midfield, though, for Tuggeranong United. Here's Ewan Peterkin. Chance for him to drive at Jordan Lamb and find a pass. He's found Smith in support. Doherty. Peterkin. Looks for Doherty on the reverse pass, but not on the same wavelength. And Jason Ugrinich is back there defending for Ryan Keir. Pavlak. Bit of grass for him to stretch his legs. And Barac is gone again, and the flag is up again. Hasn't quite timed those just yet.
No, but that might be a bit of a tactic that they, the Canberra Croatia side can utilise, is see if they can actually get Fulton working it both ways. So if they can get Pavlak running down that wing, it may dilute some of his effectiveness up front, Daniel Fulton.
Gerbish at the back. Subasic. Ryan Keir. Now Colbertaldo. Looks to slide it through for Lamb. And he's offside as well. The Tuggeranong offside trap. Getting her working out early on.
Himself up a little bit as he's making his run. He's looking at the lines, the assistant referee the whole time.
It's about the fourth offside already. And it takes one to break it, though.
Yeah, just interesting that with the Canberra Croatia through balls, if they could maybe just take the pace off these a little bit and roll them into space rather than trying to really thread the needle, they might get some joy. A little 1-2 here and there, you might be able to catch this Tuggeranong back four square.
Canberra, Croatia in 15 games against Tuggeranong United NPL have scored 53 times. That's an average of 3.5 a game. So despite Tuggeranong's reasonable record against them in Canberra, Canberra, Croatia do manage to score goals against this outfit. Barac from deep. Subasic finds Oided. Ball in behind the back, and Ugrinich went. When Wiseman's dropped it, Ugrinich has found Colbertaldo, tried to squeeze it past him, and it was a vital block by Sam Smith. Otherwise, that was the opening goal.
And that's more the ball I was talking about, Russ, the one that's played just along the ground that rolls into space. Wiseman's come out and fumbled it. Jason unselfishly looked for Daniel Colbertaldo. Real scrambling defence there that sees Canberra Croatia get a corner instead of the ultimate reward there.
Good block, Smith. Needed to be. Heroic from him to keep his side level there. Kishta with the corner. Plenty of red shirts to aim for. Good delivery as well. Bunel with the header away finds Gaia. Fulton off on the charge, but Ugrinich is quick. Pavlak. Lamb. Colbertaldo. Jamie Vinken came across to rob him. Nice open game so far.
It is. Just trying to have a look at the lineup and the structure of the two sides. Really large concentration down one particular side where the ball is, and it basically leaves the other side empty.
Pavlak on a weaving run. Opens up for him. Finds Barac in the area. Colbertaldo on the overlap. Daniel Colbertaldo. Wiseman with a save. Nice move.
Yeah, exactly what we were talking about before, Russ. Pavlak's actually taken on Daniel Fulton there, running to space, and there's not much in behind Daniel Fulton there, so it's allowed Pavlak to get to the edge of the box. It's come on his right, which is his non-preferred foot. He's found Barac, who's invited Daniel Colbertaldo into another shot and another corner. But looking ominous here.
Greenwich with it. Chance for him to swing that in again. Wiseman loses it in the air, and somehow it's not in. I think the header was from Daniel Subasic, and it hit Ewan Peterkin more than anything. I don't think he knew anything about it.
No, it hit him in the back of the head, and Subasic is another person that we've targeted or singled out before coming in at the back post. He's very, very dangerous in these situations. Tuggeranong have got a really good record, really good setup for set pieces, but one team that could match them for height and physicality in there is this Canberra-Croatia side.
Got lucky there, did Tuggeranong. Can they ride their luck again? Oida nearly got on the end of that. Subasic did, but couldn't divert it goalwards.
And that was another good chance, actually, for Daniel Subasic.
As we stand, Tuggeranong United on 9 points. Frank level with Tigers FC, but the goal difference because of those early heavy defeats to Kuma 4-0 and to Olympic 5-1 leave Tuggeranong up against it in that respect, so they can't play for the draw. That'd be a bit galling for Mitch Stevens, having only conceded 2 in their last 4.
Correct. Their early season, I think Mitch would be ruining the game against Tigers, especially without Marco Guy sent off. I think it was 1-0 at the time, and then that obviously blew out to a 4-0 result.
Walsh under pressure gives it away to Oida, who advances inside. Might shoot from here. Oida, he does. It's saved by Wiseman. Keir follows up, and Wiseman somehow makes a recovery save as well. Good chance that for Canberra-Croatia, and Jacob Wiseman keeps his side in it. Yeah,
and that is the best chance of the game so far. I'm sure there will be a lot of Tigers players and coaches sitting at home ruining that right at the moment. Canberra-Croatia should easily be 1-0 up on the base of that.
Bit casual with the finish, Ryan Keir. Just tried to side-foot it in. If he had lifted it, he may have scored. Tuggeranong on the back foot. They're riding their luck at the moment.
Having said that, you've got to give credit to Wiseman for the double save, but the second one especially was an outstanding piece of goalkeeping.
Talked yesterday about defining moments in matches and seasons, Frank, and you look at already Sam Smith blocking that goal-bound effort from Daniel Colbertaldo, Ewan Peterkin's head not knowing anything about Subasic's goal-bound header, and Jacob Wiseman with a double save there. Could so easily be 2 or 3-0 already.
Absolutely, Russ. And you go back to Slavic's miss.
He's in at the other end here at the moment. Just suggesting that on those kind of moments, games swing. Walsh, it's been a collision between Keir and Smith. Peterkin finds Walsh in an advance role. Smith still up in the penalty area, trying to squeeze his way through. Pavlak's there. Fulton with the futsal block. Bit of ricochet around. It's going to fall for Cam Doherty. He'll look for Peterkin, but Jordan Lamb got the head in the way. Tuggeranong's turn to have a little bit of pressure.
Yeah, good response since the potential 1-0.
Doherty's pass is a good one. He's found Peterkin, who slides it forward for Smith. Brings Slavic into play. And that's a little bit ambitious from Andrew Slavic. Overhits that one. But you do look at games and things throughout the season and you do think, well, will it be your day when you see things like that, especially the Subasic header, which was destined for the net till it hit you and Peterkin?
Yeah, but you just got to put that to one side, I guess, Russ. And Sammy Smith will do a bit of attention here. Got forward and I think he collided with Ryan Keir, and there was about a 4-man collision there, and it's come off a bit worse for wear. But very open field to this. I think we haven't had a goal yet, but I don't think they're far away.
Good result for Tuggeranong United's women's team today. They've defeated Wagga City Wanderers by 2-0. A brace from Madeline McGee.
Michael Allard would be very happy with that.
Good 3 points for them. If you tuned in, missed it this morning, Canberra, Croatia took a stranglehold on the WNPL title fight. Brittany Palumbi with the only goal of the game in their 1-0 win over Belconnen United, which was Belconnen's third defeat in 82 matches. Rare as hen's teeth.
Pretty incredible, isn't it, Russ? We've probably seen a bit of a changing of the guard in the men's and women's. Obviously, Olympic going down last night and Belconnen going down the women's today. Two traditional sort of top one, top two, especially Belconnen in the women's. I know it's only one result, but even just over the course of the season, the Belconnen women's side hasn't been anywhere near as dominant as they have been previously.
Dropped 4 points this season, or 5 points I should say. A drawn game against Gungahlin, and the 3 points today.
And that'll be a welcome result for Canberra Croatia coach Nick.
Capped a big weekend for Nick Brosnich. Had his first yard on Friday. 3 points against Belconnen United today.
Is it Brittany Palumbi strike?
Certainly was.
Yep.
Her 109th NPL goal.
See, I'll follow you on Twitter, Ross.
You're the only one, Frank. Thanks for that. Goalkeeper nods it back to Sam Brown, who had a 5-minute cameo in the under-23s while they searched for a goalkeeper, which didn't pay off. Andrew Giorgio ended up in nets in a 3-2 win over Tuggeranong.
He's big season for Andrew Giorgio. He's got his first grade debut, and his debut as a goalkeeper by the sounds of things.
Conceded a couple late on when his team was 3-0 to the good.
And too busy signing contracts.
Ball sent forwards, flicked on by Kitty. Decent little crowd in the Tuggeranong section and also in the Canberra Croatia Ivan Bullen stand, and to either side of us there's a smattering of fans as well, Frank.
Yeah, perfect day for it. Russ was out at O'Connor this morning watching the Olympic 18s go around, and perfect conditions for football. It's got that real spring feel about it, almost that finals feel about it. It's almost impossible to get a car park out here at Deakin today.
I got one, you'd be pleased to know.
Yeah, well, I'm not surprised. They've probably got a reserve seat, reserve park for Russ, King of Canberra.
You couldn't sent it forward. I did get here ridiculously early, mind.
Oh, did you organise the time of the game, Ross? Or?
I did.
Okay.
Organised the pizza delivery for us later as well. Here's Balach. Wide to Lamb. Falls for Oider. Back to Kier. Nice switch of play to Ivan Pavlak. Bit of space for him to try and pick across. Balach has got completely unmarked in the middle. Real chance here. And there was a fairly tame header at the end of it. Worryingly for Tuggeranong, though, the way he managed to stroll in unmarked.
He was there in buckets of time, and I think it was almost the ball just took too long to get to him. He needed to go back around the other side of the goalkeeper, across the keeper, but didn't get enough on it.
Almost had time for a touch.
Yeah.
Goalkeeper stretching to get forward and slide it through, and Ugrinich almost got there, and Wiseman needed to be alert. Peterkin. Slavic. Well, Tuggeranong leaving themselves exposed slightly when they're looking for this goal.
And they're going to have to, Ross. I mean, there's going to be, there's going to have to be gaps if they're going to throw men forward.
Well, you expect the longer it stays 0-0, eventually they're going to throw the kitchen sink at this. And on the bench, they do have Eddie Coggin and Harry Truman and Jono Chirek, 3 forward-orientated players.
And that's tells us a lot about the mindset of Mitch Stevens, which is great, which is exactly what we want. He just doesn't want to be using those substitutes when they're maybe 1 or 2 down. They still want to be in that game the whole time.
And that's, I guess, the million-dollar question for the coach, Frank, is when do you twist and when do you stick? Giving it away here to Ryan Keir, very sloppy. Jason Ugrinich on the right foot, and probably fortunate for Tuggeranong that was on his weaker side.
Yeah, I think Mitch will be a bit concerned about the amount of chances that Canberra Croatia are creating here, and a lot of them are coming from Tuggeranong mistakes.
Nearly all of them from Tuggeranong turnovers at the moment. Slavic's ball forward rather aimless. Was looking for Guy, but didn't have the accuracy required. Oida. Free kick. And Canberra Croatia becoming dominant in the centre of the park.
Yeah, Nickel Oida is just absolutely dominant in the middle of the park today. I was about to say that, Ross. He's really sort of building into this season, and I think he's going to be a pivotal player when it comes to that round robin, top 4 playoff. Lovely
ball from Kishta looking for you, Greenwich. Half an hour gone, and just a shout out to the referee. She's let this one flow, and it's actually been a very entertaining watch at the moment, hasn't it? Been a couple of little niggly challenges, just play on and a quiet word in the ear.
Yeah, it's good. Just back on Nickel Oida, the fact that they can deploy Daniel Cobaltalo so far forward just allows, means that he's doing such a good job in the middle of the park.
Guy has got there and he's nipped it away, and he's away here, Marco Guy, reminiscent of against Gungahlin. This time, though, Matt Gerdebish is back to block it. Sensational sliding challenge.
It's exactly the same as the Gungahlin goal that he scored, where Gillespie left his pass short. He's nipped in, put it past the last defender. But yeah, the fact that you've got someone like Matty Gerdebish coming back and sliding in and making that challenge, outstanding leadership from him.
Was a stunning challenge. Someone behind the goal trying to kick the ball back over and getting mercilessly ribbed for not being able to do so.
Just take it home.
Corner for Tuggeranong. Slavic to take. Whips it in there towards Peterkin. Well cleared by Lamb. Cobaltalo nods it away. I think they missed the dynamism of Nico Oida in midfield against Belconnen last week, Frank, when he was deployed as a centre-back. Just his ability to get around the park.
Yeah, he's really pulling the strings here today, isn't he? He's getting forward, he's creating things, he's dropping off and getting the ball off the back four. It looks like an elegant player. At the same time, he's robust enough to enforce himself into any challenge.
2 goals this season for Nico Oida. Penalty against Tigers and a header against Woden Western. Been awarded 4 penalties this year. Canberra Croatia, well 5 actually. Scored 4, missed 1. Vinkum's ball, the chase on for Gaia, and he might get in here and will come in together with Matty Gerbischer. Good battle that so far.
It is, and we sort of asked the question about Marco Guy being deployed up front a couple of weeks ago when we saw it against Belconnen. He's been able to out-muscle most defenders, but he's got a real task if he wants to out-muscle Matty there.
Greenwich slides it through, Bunell's back covering, and Wiseman will clear. Matt Gerbish's first start in a long time though, and he could have asked for an easier one, couldn't he? Against the robust Marco Guy. Oida breaking forward, languid stride, and he's just pushed it too far ahead of him. Yeah, Marco Guy will let Matty Gerbish know he's been in a game, and vice versa.
Yeah, I don't know. Marco Guy will either come off with sore ears from listening to Matty or sore shins.
We mentioned his mink pink haircut last week. Matty Gerbischer looks resplendent out there with the skipper's armband on as well.
No one's going to tell him any different, are they?
Ball sent forwards. Subasic with the header. This is almost like a finals game for Tuggeranong, and they did play a finals game at this venue in 2018. And they drew 2-2 against Tigers with a last gasp equaliser from Regan Walsh, only to lose 3-2 on penalties. They'll be hoping for a happier outcome today. Fulton won that header. They went backwards. Walsh, who did score that equaliser. Fulton. Kishta snapping at him. Fulton somehow wriggles his way through and wins his team a free kick. He looks bang up for this today, don't you,
Fulton? He's done a great job. He's probably been out of the game just the last 10 minutes or so, Russ, but they need to get him back on the ball because they look so much better when he's anywhere near it.
11.5 minutes to half-time, live on Bar TV Sports, the final match in round 7 of NPL Canberra. Canberra Croatia 0, Tuggeranong United 0. Draw not good enough for Tuggeranong to go through. Up towards Peterkin. Nods it down. There'll be some nervous players from supporters and coaches from Tigers FC watching this one. Willing on those in red. Wouldn't say that too often.
No.
Pavlak strides forward, looks for Balac. It's going to come all the way through to Ugrinich. Real chance this for Jason Ugrinich on the left foot again. Cut back inside when it may be opened up for a right-footed effort. Colbertaldo, Ugrinich. Peterkin read the trick. Another half chance there for Canberra Croatia.
Yeah, and that's one of the disadvantages of playing a left-sided player on the right-hand side. I know that they play him there so he can cut in on his left and shoot. But when the chance presented itself there on the right foot again, probably just took a little bit of time. It wasn't opening up for him exactly how he wanted. But yeah, that's one of the disadvantages.
Colbertaldo lifts it into the penalty area. Kitty was stretching, couldn't get there at the first attempt, got there at the second.
And that's another good match up there, Kitty versus Barrett. Two very physical players, good athletes, strong in the contest.
It's been an intriguing battle so far. Both sides have had their moments. Better chances have fallen to Canberra Croatia. Tuggeranong still well in it. Goodabish's there. Off on one of those runs that won the penalty last week. Sliding challenge from Kitty. Called a bit late there by Daniel Balac. Protests his innocence.
And that's an important thing for Tuggeranong to identify, is when Gilbreth does get forward and he may lose the ball or get it pass intercepted, is to try to hit Canberra Croatia as quickly as you can and expose that back four without maybe Gilbreth in that line.
Tuggeranong wanted to go early with a free kick, but referee George Girardello was having another chat with Daniel Balac.
Yeah, unfortunate for Tuggeranong because Daniel Fulton was away.
Free kick to Mitch Stevens' side. You can see him on the edge of his technical area there. At the moment, we'll be reasonably pleased. His side's very much in the contest. They still need to find a breakthrough, of course. Walsh, that's a huge kick in towards Peterkin, and Brown comes to clutch. Always favourites the goalkeepers with those floating free kicks. Manny Gubsha stands on the ball. Lamb. Ugrinich helps it on its way. Balac's chasing. Walsh comes across. Quick scan to see where he was. Don't get too many chances at Deakin Stadium usually, and that one for Slavic early doors has been the best for Tuggeranong so far.
Yeah, and obviously, if they did take the lead, then that gives them a lot more confidence and actually puts more pressure on the opposition to start responding on the scoreboard. In turn, that creates more chances.
Fulton won the header. Uida, nice touch to Ugrinich. Lamb. Slavic blocks the attempted ball forwards.
So you can see what I'm saying, Russ. If you just have a look at the pitch, like majority of players are in a 40 metre sort of zone. There's no width, really.
Peterkin, Fulton, Peterkin again. Kitty out wide, but backwards. Regan Walsh. Fulton just helps it on its way to Peterkin. Fulton again. Runs into Matt Gerbischer. Here's Emilio Kishta. Colbertaldo ahead. And Peterkin back to snuff out any danger from Daniel Colbertaldo. Another consistent season for him.
Yeah, he's come a long way, hasn't he? Over the last few years, he came to Olympic from Tuggeranong. Previous to that, at Monero as pretty much a teenager, and now arguably the best midfielder in the competition.
Certainly be in any team of the season debates. Balac has robbed Kitty. Chance for him to get into the penalty area here. Swings it across, but Wiseman was well positioned. Twice Kitty's been caught in possession now in dangerous situations. Pavlak, Kishta, Kier, and the free kick. Maybe Kishta's got a knock there as well. I'm not sure who was fouled there. Was it Kishta or Kier or both?
Kishta's an ex-Tuggeranong player as well, Russ.
Yeah, started his Canberra NPL career there, along with Nikos Kalfas, who's not available today. Jordan Lamb had a spell at Tuggeranong as well, if I remember rightly.
Did he really?
In his early part of his career. Ball forward, Sam Smith making the break. Former Canberra Olympic player. Blocked by Subasic. It's loose for Kishta.
And that's the pace that I was talking about with Sammy Smith. Now he needs to recover and get back because Jason Ugrenich is on his own out this side, if they can find him.
Pavlak looks for Balac down the middle. Important sliding challenge at the back by Regan Walsh. Appreciated by the Tuggeranong faithful. Into the last 6 minutes on Bar TV Sports. Still no score. Still no closer to seeing who will join Canberra, Croatia, Gungahlin and Belconnen in the top 4. Colbertaldo. He's picked out the run of Jordan Lamb. Got a bit of space here, Jordan Lamb, to pick across. If he chooses to do so. Took far too long to make his mind up and in the end has run himself into a bit of a cul-de-sac, but he's got the skill to get out of it. Barac rolls the challenge, comes for Oider in the penalty area, lifts it up towards Ugrenich and Tuggeranong will clear, but there's no one in a green and white shirt up there. They're all defending.
And Tuggeranong is starting to look a little bit ragged now, Russ. You can see there's some tired bodies out there already.
Oider. Kishta's found a bit of space here. Emilio Kishta, nice drop of the shoulder and he went for the left foot curler. Nice idea, didn't quite pull it off.
I'm not sure Daniel Colbertaldo thought it was a nice idea, Russ, to be honest. He'd made a really good run in there. He just needed to be slipped in and got a bit keen there. Yeah, Mr. Kistis.
Must be coming into spring because there's a plague of midges around here. Enjoying the football. Into the final 4 minutes of the first half. Still waiting for a breakthrough. Good win by Kier. Vinkum, the back heel forward. Gaia caught late by Matt Gerbischer. Free kick, Tuggeranong United. Chance from a set piece, which might well be their best avenue to goal today.
Yeah, as I said, Russ, that was that might be one area that Tuggeranong usually fancy themselves, but against this Canberra Croatia side that likes of Subasic, Grubasa and Uida, it makes it very hard to win headers or very much in the box.
And one of the tallest teams in the comp, aren't they, with Ryan Kier thrown into that mix as well. No doubt, though, Tuggeranong will have something up their sleeves. Scored a really nice free kick goal against Monero, as I mentioned. This is a more Route 1 approach from Slavic. It's going to find its way through to Fulton. He'll let it go out. It took a deflection. Peterkin wins his team a corner.
You'd love, just for the game, for a goal to happen now. I'm sure Tigers are probably cursing to say.
Mitch Stevens would love for a goal to happen right now, as long as it was at that end.
I didn't say which end, but just for the second half to really sort of ignite.
We saw Woden Western score a cracking goal on the break yesterday, Mate Barasic scoring, so you could have been specific with which particular end.
Yeah, unfortunate for Nick Force doing his hamstring in the middle of that.
Slavic with the corner. It's a deep delivery towards Fulton, too deep. But he elects to go and collect. Up against Balac. Kitty in support. Fulton trying to do it on his own in the corner. And he's still got it somehow. Weaving his way into the penalty area. Still going, Daniel Fulton. Good run this. And he's still going somehow. Big shout from the Tuggeranong fans for handball. Mostly from the stand, I would guess. No appeal from the field.
And here's the break.
Colbertaldo. Switch of play. Jason Ugrenich one-on-one here with Smith. Real opportunity for him to go at his marker. Ugrenich into the area, pulls it across goal. Bunel was there. And that's Tuggeranong leaving themselves slightly open, as you'd expect. Marco Gaia advances forward and Jordan Lamb stops him in his tracks. into the final 90 seconds of the first 45 minutes. I guess the first thing that Mitch Stevens would have said was keep yourself in the game for as long as you can.
I don't think Mitch will be, I mean, apart from the missed chances, he won't be disappointed coming in 0-all. It offers them a little window now to say, right, win the next 45 minutes, make the finals. And he might even break it down into sort of 5 or 10 minute blocks. Win the next 5 minutes, win the next 10. Don't concede in the next 10 minutes.
Walsh, raking ball forward. Lamb forced into the defensive header. Subasic challenges with Gaia. It falls for Peterkin. Here's Slavic. Gaia tried to return the compliments. Ryan Keir, comfortable in defence. Pavlak, look at the acceleration from Ivan Pavlak. Certainly one of the quickest players in the competition, and his crossfield ball's Fan Ugrinic running at Smith again. Looking to slide it through towards Barac. Jamie Vienkum doing the covering. Canberra, Croatia finishing the first half on the front foot. Jason Ugrinic with the corner, chance for the tall players in the Canberra, Croatia team to make a difference at the other end. Ugrinic with the corner, swings it in towards where Wiseman was. Bunell got the header. Fulton with the clearance. Only as far as Lamb into stoppage time. Ugrinic, different angle, good ball in. Wiseman came and Daniel Barac was a stud away from turning that past him. Yep,
all it needed was just a bit of a touch on that and into the empty net. Great little ball there from Jason Ugrinic. Really asked a lot of questions there of Wiseman.
Wiseman, though, launches this one forwards. Subasic wins the header with Marco Gaia. Tuggeranong's turn to have an attack. Doherty. Kitty. Bit loose. Pavlak has it. Doherty closes down the options very quickly. Doesn't look like we're going to see much more action in the first half. Is there time for something for either side? Free kick, Canberra, Croatia.
Might even see the lights come on at half-time, Russ, I think.
The sun's setting behind us. It's going to get a bit cooler.
It has got a bit cooler.
Pavlak's taken the free kick and he's looking for Ugrinic again. It's been a good outlet for them in this first half. Had a couple of half chances as well. Reverse ball to Kishta. Or Lamb, rather. Fires it across goal, is blocked. Slavic happy to just prod it away from his own goal. Gerbischer finds Pavlak. Another crossfield ball towards Lamb. Does an exceptionally well to keep that in.
Did really well there, didn't he?
To no avail though, because Tuggeranong can bring it forward with Slavic. Vienkum chasing Gerbischer, the cool head. Well, I say that, and he's almost nodded it past Sam Brown. That'll do us for the first half. A decent 45 minutes, Frank. Both sides had chances.
Yeah, absolutely. Can't really ask for much more except for a goal or two, but I mean, I think that's coming. To which net, I'm not sure, because I think obviously now Tuggeranong really need to take the handbrake off and go for it in the second half. They've got a big opportunity now to stake a claim for the top four, and they shouldn't go to bed wondering tonight.
Tuggeranong United have 45 minutes to find a goal and keep Canberra, Croatia scoreless, and they will make the top four. As it is, Tigers are still in the box seats. 45 minutes to go at Deakin Stadium. Canberra, Croatia 0. Tuggeranong United 0. Welcome back to Deakin Stadium for the second half of this one. Tuggeranong United 0, Canberra Croatia 0, and Tuggeranong 45 minutes away from elimination. They need a result. Been a good day for Woden, or good weekend for Woden Western Football Club. Frank, in the WNPL, Woden Western 2, Gungahlin United 0.
Wow.
Big surprise there. That means that Canberra Croatia need 1 point from their final 2 games to be crowned WNPL champions this year. That's
outstanding for Canberra Croatia. It's could take out the double in the men's and women's, but that's a very big result for Woden. I've noticed, obviously following the WNPL a little bit myself, how well Gungahlin have done this year, taking a point off Belconnen, and to be rolled over by Woden, that's a huge result. 2
goals in 3 minutes from Sarah Whitfield doing the damage for Woden Western Wanderers at Melrose Synthetic. Here we await a goal. Either way will be crucial. If Canberra Croatia get it, mountain to climb for Tuggeranong. If Tuggeranong get it, Tigers will be on their way out. No changes as yet. It doesn't look like. Canberra Croatia's lineup: Brown, Lamb, Subasic, Gudabashir, Pavlak, Oida, Kierd, Kolbatado, Kishta, Balach and Ugrinich. Tuggeranong, Wiseman, Kitty Walsh, Bunell, Smith, Doherty, Pidekin, Gaia, Vienkum, Slavic and Fulton. George Girardello gets us underway. The lights are on at per Frank's request.
You've probably got the switch there, Russ.
It's in your pocket, mate.
You think you organise everything else in Canberra. Have you got these guys mowing the lawn for you this weekend? Or?
I've organised you a coffee date with Bruno for Monday.
You need to come up with something new.
Don't need it, mate. That's all we need.
Come up with something new.
I could give our listeners and viewers the world exclusive of where Frank Casey is going to be coaching next year.
I'd love to know myself. There's a lot of rumours going around.
Your wife thought she was going to get you back after you gave up coaching.
I'm happy with you, Russ. Are you talking about you being my wife or my wife being my wife?
Should we concentrate on the game?
Yeah, okay.
Okay. It's Matt Gerbisher at the back.
There could be an A-League gig in the future. Who knows, Russ?
Who knows? Mick Caggiano had a meeting last night with the FFA. That one's back for Sam Brown. Bit of a difficult one. He's giving it away here to Ewan Peterkin. Real chance here for Peterkin. He's driven it a goal. Good save, Brown. Still not over yet, and Peterkin couldn't quite force it in. Good start the second half, Tuggeranong United.
Tuggeranong Tigers can breathe a sigh of relief there. Been a bit sloppy a couple of times there, playing the ball back to Sam Brown. Matty Gerbis with a header in the first half, and now that one.
Pavlak wins the ball back. We're going to have a chat with Mick Caggiano next week. He'll give us everybody an update of where we stand with the potential A-League team for Canberra. Vienkum, good run this past Ryan Keir, still going Jamie Vienkum onto that left foot. Promising opening for Mitch Stevens' team. It's a good ball forward by Ugrinich. Kitty though chases back and Badac catches him, and 3 or 4 little fouls that Daniel Badac has committed. Now I think George Girardello is going to tell him he's on his last chance.
Yeah, more than likely here. But she's officiated really, really well. She's kept control while managing the players. Daniel Fulton having a bit of work to Daniel Barrett.
All in good fun, I think. There's plenty of smiles out there. Jacob Wiseman with the free kick. Must be a horrendous watch for Tigers and their crew right now, Frank.
Could have been worse.
Could well have been worse. Kishta challenges. Kolbatado wins it. Kier brings it down. Pavlak launches the left-footed ball one forward. Wiseman judges the bounce, and Jason Ugrinich gives up on the chase. Did mention in the first half, Tuggeranong have Turek, Coggan and Truman, 3 strikers on the bench. I wonder how long it'll be before Mitch Stevens deploys more ammunition. Here's Kishta driving forward, looking for the run of Oida. In behind, it's come for Kolbataldo, and he'll be a little bit disappointed not to have tested Jacob Wiseman.
Yeah, when that fell to Danny there, I thought this could be 1-0 because ball coming to him, falling to him nicely on the right foot, put it on target. It would have been very, very difficult for what young Wiseman to get a hand on that. But just leaning back a slight bit, and it's over the top.
Tuggeranong want to play out short, but with Kolbatado and Badac lurking, probably not a good idea. And so Wiseman Discretion lamps it forwards. Oida, a bit short. Subasic got there. Colbertaldo, nicely taken in. Switch from Kier, first time to Oida. Helps it on its way to Barac. Pavlak's hammering his run forwards on this left side. Chance for him to deliver into the penalty area. Comes for Colbertaldo. Brings it down nicely. Back for Ryan Kier. Good move this, and didn't quite have the end product because the deflection takes it away for a corner.
Yeah, it goes back to what we were talking about at the beginning of the first half for us around Pavlak getting forward and the ability of Fulton to track that run. Now, the more and more that happens as this game goes longer, it's going to be a real test for Danny Fulton to keep up with Pavlak.
Colbertaldo will take the corner. Deep one towards the far post. Ugrinich unmarked. Volleys back into the area. Subasic helps it on. Oida goes down under the challenge. Waved away by Giorgio Girardello. Looks like there was a bit of contact there.
I'm pretty sure there was. From my angle, it looked like it was a very close call for a Deakin penalty there. Canberra Croatia penalty.
Well, there was definitely contact between Oida and a defender. Not enough for Giorgio Girardello to give a spot kick to the home team. Already mentioned they've had 5 this season. Have Tuggeranong dodged a bullet there. Walsh swings one towards Slavic. Nods it down to Peterkin. Out wide for Marco Gaia. Looks to take on Lamb. Wasn't falling for the trick. Subasic hammers it away. Bunel at the back. Calmly done by the teenager. A little pull by Daniel Colbertaldo on the shirts.
Probably with no need because I think Jason Ugrinich had Bunel on his sights there.
Walsh tries to slide it through a gap that wasn't there, and Barac can stretch his legs and race away. Lifts it in towards Ugrinich, who brings it down. It's on that left foot. He likes it from here. Decent block, Harrison Bunel. Well done, the teenager. Danger still not past. Oida, dancing feet, tried to find Ugrinich and Bunel for the second time.
And Tuggy's crowd starting to get into it, Russ. It's been a very open 7 minutes of the second half.
The home faithful a little bit quiet. Did their celebrating last week, didn't they? And then got to do it all over again last night.
Still suggests there's something to celebrate in this game. There's goals in this.
I was talking to Dean Ugrinich, and rather tongue-in-cheek, he asked me if they were back-to-back champions because they've won it last weekend and again yesterday. Nice try. They have a free kick here. Jason Ugrinich is lining it up. Chance for him to lift it into the penalty area. 6 red shirts in there. Everyone bar Gaia back.
Matty Goodbusser is in a good spot here.
Ugrinich is going to deliver this into the danger area, right in front of the keeper, you'd imagine. It's a bit heavy. And Wiseman's dropped it. What a chance for Kier. And somehow, from almost underneath the crossbar, he scooped it over the bar. It was sitting up on him, wasn't it?
It was sitting up, and all it was a touch and it's a goal.
If you just let it hit him, it probably goes in.
Yeah, it just hits his knee and it goes in. Not sure if Wiseman would have been putting his hand up in protest after that because it looked like there was a challenge on him. But yeah, it's got to be coming, surely a goal, one way or another.
Slavic brought down by Oida. Yellow card for the midfielder. Biggest cheer of the day, that gets. Been pretty good discipline-wise this season, Canberra Croatia. Only Gerbisher, Balac and Pochi before tonight seeing yellow.
Yeah, it was just that game against Gungahlin that we were here when the sin binning and then
a couple of sin bins.
Calfas was sent off.
Cam Doherty over the free kick. Can he pick out a Tuggeranong shirt? Swings it in towards Bunel. It might fall for Fulton. Kishta's back defensively. Fulton challenging. And off he goes. Kishta on a run. Good run too. He's gone 40 or 50 metres here and he looks to pick the pass out at the end of it. The heel of Bunel. Stop that one going forward. Now Fulton. Can he exploit the space left behind? It was a sore one for him.
Yeah, I think he picked up a knock, just coming out a bit worse for wear with the challenge from Kistis, and taking the opportunity now to just catch his breath.
Looks okay, Daniel Fulton, happy to carry on. Tuggeranong got some subs warming up as well. 10 minutes into the second half, still no score. Kitty with the throw. He's got a long throw, Sean Kitty. We talked about the long throws yesterday. One of the longest, but wasn't a good one.
No, asking a bit much of Peterkin there.
Just to recap, yesterday Balcony United ensuring their finals place with a 2-0 win over Tigers. Luca Flores and Kofi Danning with the goals. Keir's ball forward, flag goes up against Emilios Kishta. Obviously knew he was offside with the finish. Warren Weston surprising Canberra Olympic last night with a 3-1 win. Mate Barashic's goal counted up by Josh Calabria, who was later sent off, and a brace from Roy Anderson, giving Yuli De Silva's team a second win in a row after 3 points against Tigers last week, and they'll enter the bottom four final series in huge amount of confidence.
Well, they'll be the only team coming into that bottom four finals with 2 wins on the back of 2 consecutive wins. Just interesting to see, Russ, what you think if Tuggeranong do manage to get through after today. How far can they go into that round robin based on their last performances?
Gaia bursting into the area, goes down under the challenge. He wants a penalty. He's got a penalty. What a glorious chance for Tuggeranong United to take the lead. Marco Gaia made it with his strength. Don't think there was much doubt about that one, Frank.
No, and I think the Canberra Croatia boys will be pointing at the other end saying, and what about the Nicol Udua penalty shout? But
100%.
2 big moments coming up here, Russ. 1, the penalty, and 2, Daniel Fulton being substituted.
Well, they've given the ball to Andrew Slavic. He was the last Tuggeranong player to score here in 2017. They haven't scored a goal since then. Harry Truman's come on, their leading goal scorer for Tuggeranong. Andrew Slavic, he's played 104 NPL matches. Probably never kicked a more vital ball in his Tuggeranong career. Up against Sam Brown.
And Brownie's pretty good at these pens.
Hearts in mouths for Tigers, hearts in mouths for Tuggeranong. It's Slavic from the spot, it's saved by Sam Brown. Brilliant stop by the goalkeeper, plunging to his right. And Tuggeranong pass up a huge opportunity.
It's a shame I can't do live betting, isn't it, Russ?
Wonderful stop from Brown. You did mention he was good at them, and Slavic has been denied. Gaia swings it in, Truman the substitute. What a chance for Tuggeranong, passed up.
And what effect will that have on the rest of the side and Mitch Stevens and his bench? It's a real opportunity lost, obviously.
When they rewarded the penalty, there wasn't exactly a big queue of players lining up to take it, was there?
To be honest, I was expecting someone like Regan Walsh to turn up and put his hand up, but Slavic is a senior player as well, so you can't knock a person for having the go.
Barrach deflection. Wiseman spilt it, and it almost was turned in by Jordan Lamb following up.
Would have Daniel Fulton have taken that if he wasn't coming off injured?
Bishop goes through the back of Peterkin, free kick, and Ewan Peterkin not happy with the challenge. A little bit of a coming together. Giorgio Girardello handles it well again. Yeah, psychologically, that's a huge blow for Tuggeranong. Real chance to get their noses ahead. I could hear Mick Klima and Javi Hervasapian cheering from down in Kuma. Wiseman with the free kick. Lifts it forward. Slavic wins the header. Coming together of bodies. Might fall for Peterkin, who tried his luck. Ambitious effort, that one. Tuggeranong turning up the heat a little.
And that goes back to my point that I was just talking to you, Russ, just before the penalty, is if Tuggeranong do make that top four with a win today and then a previous win against Gungahlin, you know, are they one of the teams that it could possibly challenge? I mean, you wouldn't, you know, on face value, you couldn't write them off.
In the top four final series, anything could happen, couldn't it, really? Everyone plays each other once, and then the top two into the grand final. Should they avoid defeat today, of course, and only draw, they'll be unbeaten in 5, which is their best run in, like I say, 15 years or so, but they'll be scant consolation if they don't get the winning goal. Not sure they're going to get a better chance than the one they had just a moment ago from the spot.
No, and a great save there from Sam Brown.
Absolutely brilliant from the goalkeeper. Could have been that 5-minute warm-up he had in the under-23s.
He's a confident player, Sam Brown, and I think he would have actually enjoyed that, having that challenge set down for him. Save a penalty, keep the clean sheet.
It's decently struck. It was nice height for the keeper, but he had to get across his goal to stop it. Pick the right way.
Yeah, I think the height probably had more to do with the ability to save it than the power, because as you said, Russ, he did hit it well.
Well, Guy caused the problems, and he's off after this one as well. Goalkeeper with playing head tennis with himself. Oida finds Pavlak. Runners ahead of Barac. Kitty is chasing back with Daniel Barac. Gets ahead of him and defends that well. Peterkin's touch infield is loose. Oida has it. Colbertaldo. Good ball into her in the back here. Here's Barac sliding in. And Harrison Bunell comes across to help out. The flag did go up for offside. Defender wasn't to know that, though.
I bet you wish he did.
It was a sore one. Less than half an hour to go. Tuggeranong 0, Canberra, Croatia 0. Tuggeranong needing a win to make the top four, and they've missed a penalty. Andrew Slavic's shot saved by Sam Brown. But over the last 5 minutes or so, it's been mostly Tuggeranong in the ascendancy. Kishta looking to assert his dominance in midfield. Keeps it in play, but only for Peterkin. Barac has it. Kier. Oida. Lamb. Gets in field, nice ball. Barac opened up briefly, slides it through towards you, Greenwich. Kitty's back defending. Into the bushes.
There's a big hole in the Tuggeranong defence there. If they just found Jason Greenwich a bit earlier, he was in a really good position.
Kishta can't get the ball. The other one's all the way out the other end. Sam Brown's gone to play ball boy.
Well, you're not going to get Colbertaldo to reach that one either.
Maybe if he stood on Emilio Kishta's shoulders.
So Sam Brown could probably get it. He's probably feeling about 10 foot tall at the moment, Russ.
And why wouldn't he be? Brilliant save from the goalkeeper. It is a mental challenge for both striker and goalkeeper in that situation.
You could see Slavic just in those last couple of challenges really fired up. Obviously, he feels like he owes his side something now, more than he did before. But you know, you can never knock someone for sticking their hand up and taking the penalty.
Well, you feel for him. He did have the wherewithal and the belief.
Wherewithal.
I was going to say the proverbials to stand up and take it. Then I remembered it's a family show. Pavlak. Kitty slides across. Going to be sure at the back. Just teases Slavic with the ball in front of him. Lamb. Greenwich. Our Canberra, Croatia building something here. Barac. Colbertaldo. Helps it out wide to Kishta. Oida couldn't bring it in, and Vienkum can come away. Good win, Subasic. Colbertaldo. Didn't see Jamie Vienkum sneaking up, and Cam Doherty is brought down by Ryan Kier, who's going to cop a yellow card for his troubles.
unusual there. Daniel Covertaldo's lost the ball twice in the space of a minute. Potentially opened up an opportunity for Tuggeranong to hit him on the break.
When does Mitch Stevens chuck the kitchen sink at it?
I keep on looking over at the clock and just wondering when is he going to pull the trigger. Obviously, the game has changed in complexion based on that penalty. Had that gone in, then Mitch could probably sit. Now he still needs to chase.
Oida finds Greenwich. Lamb. Crossfield ball finds Badach. Nice header down towards Kishta. Into the penalty area. Regan Walsh had to time that well, and he did. Covered it well, the defender. Just a reminder, a draw no good for Tuggeranong would move them to 9 points, but with a -5 goal difference, Tigers +2 would see them into the 4. Fair to say they would have sneaked in over the last couple of weeks. Well, they haven't scored a goal in 2 matches.
So what you're saying, Russ, is when I tipped Bill Conner and Kuma Tigers to make the top 4 yesterday, I might be right.
You could well be right. I mean, you had a 50% chance. Or a bit less than that, was it?
Come on,
I don't know. I told you yesterday, my maths isn't great.
There was about 16 teams trying to get the top 4. With about 36 different combinations.
This change is a Canberra-Croatia one. Ivan Pavlak coming off.
Substitution for Canberra-Croatia.
There is still plenty of time though, Frank.
Being replaced by number 17, Michael Pocci.
Plenty of time for both sides.
Absolutely, and even just this substitution now, Dean's not sort of wavering much from what he normally does. Pocci's played a large majority of the season at left back. He's been rotating through that position with Pavlak, so
one of the few Canberra-Croatia players that started all 6 before today, Michael Pocci. Bunel wins the header. Truman. His first season in Premier League football, scored a goal against Olympic, followed up with a brace against Woden Western. He has 50% of all Tuggeranong goals this season, Harry Truman. They'd love him to get another one now. Dirty to Slavic. Gaia. Challenge from Subasic. Girardello lets it go. Badac. Tuggeranong snapping into challenges. They can feel the urgency. Gaia. It goes back at the moment, Frank. If it stays this way, like I said, Tuggeranong unbeaten in 5. Goes back to their first 2 games of the season. You wonder how unprepared they were, really, when they came up against Tigers and Olympic.
Yeah, and they might have just been a bit of a victim of circumstance, Russ. Like I said, they lost Marco Gaia in that first game with the red card, which meant he was out suspended for the Olympic game. I don't think Fulton played against Olympic either. And I don't think Slavic was available then either. So, circumstances probably played against them. But I think actually just goes back to what we were just saying about, say Michael Pocci and the stability that Canberra Croatia have got in their side. A lot of the championships are going to be dictated or decided by the team that has the most stable 11 or 15 odd players in the competition.
Bunel at the back for Tuggeranong.
Now, you've seen Olympic struggle a lot with injuries, and they've made a lot of changes throughout the season. I don't think there's been that many players that have started every game. You could almost say the same for Gungahlin with their rotation system. So I think this Canberra Croatia side, you could probably go and pick next week's side now.
Slavic from distance fires one off, and Brown spilt it. It's loose. Chance here. The flag's gone up. The flag's gone up. It won't be a penalty. Offside is the call. Otherwise, it probably was a second spot kick and trouble for Sam Brown.
It could well be trouble for Sam Brown. Must have just straight offside. It must have been tight. Be good to watch a replay, but Slavic obviously really looking to respond after the penalty miss.
Fizzed the shot in, didn't he, and forced Brown into action. Colbertaldo's interested in that Peterkin touchback. And he's got in behind Sean Kiddie here, and Kiddie's back shoulder to shoulder and concedes the free kick. Too much physical contact, according to the officials.
I think the shoulder to shoulder was okay, but I think he just caught him on the back of the heels there as well.
Corbataldo's asking for a sanction. Guy thinks that was probably worthy of a card.
He did really well, actually, Daniel Corbataldo, first to actually get to that ball first, but his first touch to take it into space.
Well, he thinks he was in on goal. I'm not quite sure that was the case, but a yellow card may well have been the upcoming of that one, because it did look like he was in behind. He read the Ewan Piddican touch back well. He can exact revenge with the free kick.
Kista's in a good spot here, Russ. Same as Jason. If Jason clears that space, Kista's in a good spot.
Well, Kishta has got a thunderous drive on him. We've seen this. Will Corbataldo go to Kishta, or will he drive it in? He drives it in. It's not a good one. Second chance for Corbataldo into the area. Flying header from Walsh to get rid of it. And then Corbataldo gives a little bit back to Sean Kiddie. And now it's Ewan Piddican's turn to Cam Doherty's turn to ask for a yellow card. Same challenge, wasn't it?
Too many big workouts on the shoulders there, Daniel.
20 minutes. 20 minutes between Tuggeranong and elimination. Can they find a way through? Slavic chasing Lamb. Had Brown coming, but decided to clear it. Gaia couldn't get it under control, but Tuggeranong on the attack again. Canberra, Croatia, of course, champions of this division. Secured it after Gungahlin United only drew 0-0 with Monero Panthers yesterday. Here's Oida breaking through, and he's just hit that too hard for Barac, and he was caught late there, I think.
He was caught just before he played that ball through to Barac. He tried to play, tried to keep the advantage and the ball going forward, and referee obviously was trying to play advantage, and hasn't worked out for Canberra, Croatia, but there's a yellow card on its way here.
Who's it for?
Regan Walsh.
Walsh picks up a yellow card. For that challenge. His first yellow card of the campaign. All yellow cards get wiped clean after this for finals. Is there a way through for Mitch Stevens and his team?
They've shown enough to think there is.
Gaia twisting, turning in the penalty area. Subasic wins it back, but they have it back again. Through Slavic. Walsh. Loose pass. Ryan Keir has it. Runner down the middle is Barac. Corbataldo. Kishta. And Kiddie in the race. Kiddie wins it and prods it out of play.
Yeah, so just going back to your question, Russ, there is opportunities here for Tuggeranong, but at the same time, it's just as likely to see a goal at the other end.
Foul throw against Emilio Kishta. The irony of it is, if you had given Mitch Stevens a point here at the start of the season, he probably would have grabbed your arm off with a 0-0 and a clean sheet. Kiddie with a huge throw.
You could probably say the same for Ginny Canarides and Monero last night. You know, if you
Well, Gerbish is in trouble here. Truman's won it, couldn't quite find the pass to Slavic, who was unmarked in the area. Canberra Croatia get lucky. Lamb brings it forward. So we don't get many 0-0s in the NPL. I was saying this a couple of weeks ago. Then we got one Belconnen versus Tuggeranong. There was a 0-0 last night, and we're still 0-0 here. Truman back helping out defensively. Space for Gaia. Pochi trailing in his wake momentarily. Gaia skips inside easily, but Ryan Keir stops that in its tracks. No nonsense challenge from Ryan Keir. Barac to Kishta. And Peterkin was close to him. Tuggeranong still have their remaining subs warming up. John O'Churek, Eddie Cogg and Daniel Felici. Only 12 NPL goals between that trio. Kiddie lifts it forwards. Truman let it run. Gets there ahead of Keir, but then Keir wins it back. Boyder. Pochi. Good ball in towards where Barach was. Nodded clear by Bunel. Only as far as Greenwich, and Bunel was there again, and he stretches the legs and off he goes on a run up over halfway on his own, and then got caught in two minds, I think, whether to continue to run or wait for the support.
That's one part of his game that I think I mentioned before when we commentated against Belconnen that he needs to look at. It's just now he's a really good ball winner. He's doing well defensively, but he's just got to make more of his passes forward.
I think he was surprised to find himself the furthest man up the park. Colbertaldo stopped in his tracks by Walsh. Quarter of an hour plus stoppage time to go here at Deakin Stadium. Canberra Croatia 0, Tuggeranong United 0. Goal for either side now might well be terminal for the top four. The hopes of Tigers resting on a draw here or a Canberra Croatia win. Barach to Kishta. Runner outside, he had Pochi, he went for goal. Sean Kiddie's won that one. Truman, he's got a bit of pace about him and a bit of strength too. Off he goes, Gerbischer charging across, sliding in, and he needed to time that well. Has that sliding challenge, doesn't he, Matt Gerbischer? Heart in mouth time for his coach when he goes for it.
Heart in mouth time for young Truman, I'd say, as well, Russ.
Well, Kishta caught hold of that one again at the other end. Sean Kiddie wore it on the chest.
Yeah,
but he should have perhaps released Pochi.
Yeah, Pochi was in. He just rolls it in.
Every second that ticks away is a second less for Tuggeranong United to make their top four dreams come true. Walsh wins the header. Pochi. Kishta. Colbertaldo. Walsh with the foot in. Gaia. Doherty. Runs into two shirts. Gaia back to help. The upshot is a free kick. Not really sure what that was for.
No. There was a real opportunity there. Colbertaldo was really trying to release Jason Greenwich. Just couldn't get the ball out of his feet.
Barach. Kiddie takes it off his toes and Keir's in to challenge with Gaia. Gerbischer calm to Ryan Keir. Back to Gerbischer. Nice little triangles from Canberra Croatia to play themselves out of trouble.
You got both Canberra Croatian midfielders, Nico Udia and Ryan Keir, both on yellow cards, and it might be a decision that Dean needs to make soon if he is worried at all around the last sort of 10-15 minutes and what might eventuate.
We're into that last 13 minutes plus whatever stoppage time to come. Greenwich for Croatia, and he's put Daniel Barach in here. Real chance for Barach. Wiseman denies him. Advanced quickly from his goal and spread himself big.
Might have been tempted to go around the keeper there, Daniel Barach, but a good ball. It was just miscalculation there from Sam Smith that allowed Jason Greenwich to get the ball out wide and fed the pass into Daniel Barach, who good save there again from Wiseman.
Lamb. Colbertaldo's flick. Woided. Kishta. Keir. Bit of rhythm to this attack. Barach helps it wide to Pochi. Bit of space here. If you can pick the cross, Michael Pochi. It's got Wiseman backpedaling, and he just plucks it away from the head of Barach. Nice move again, though. Had a bit of promise from Canberra, Croatia.
Good to see them playing with a bit of width there.
Gerbischer.
Handball there, wasn't it?
Well, you'd think so from the Tuggeranong point of view. Lauren Hargrave didn't see anything wrong with it, neither did Georgia Girardello. Keir lofts one forward. Colbertaldo, who's made several of these runs today, and Smith back defensively. Well, sorry, it's Bunel, I should say. MotoGP warming up in the background.
They're bringing your car around, Russ, to get you back to Google.
Could do with a nap on the way back, so that would be nice.
Yeah, I wondered why you get a recliner up here and I have to stand up.
Wish I had a recliner and some heating would have been nice a couple of weeks ago. Not so bad now. 12 minutes to go. Ball forward. Truman's got in behind here momentarily for Tuggeranong, but the ball sat up for him and Goalkeeper was across there. And Harry Truman doesn't care about your reputation. Money Goalkeeper down on the floor. The squabble over the ball there. Sam Brown will take the free kick. 10 minutes to go, and another change imminent for the home side. Colbertaldo, that ball's out of play. And there will be a change for Canberra, Croatia. Another defensive change, it would seem. Marko Vrkic for Jason Ugrinich, is this?
Yeah, Jordan Lamb looks like he's going into a right wing position.
Vrkic into the back four, solidifies that defence a bit more. 10 minutes to go. Tuggeranong still in touch, which is where they would want to be in the 80th minute of the match. Could have been so much better for those in green and white, though, had Slavic's penalty snuck in. Denied by a wonderful stop from Sam Brown. From the spot, Peterkin wins the flick on. Slavic is in here, flag stays down. Real chance for Andrew Slavic. Fires it across goal, there's no one there though. And Vrkic clears. Comes out to Vienkum. Truman had gone to the near post. Anyone had held their run, would have been a tap-in. Soft free kick, that one.
I think so, yeah. He couldn't control the ball. He had 3 or 4 chances to bring it down, couldn't manage it, and just seemed to lose that ball, but free kick we get.
Well, Andrew Slavic couldn't put it in from 12. Could he put it in from 25?
This could be Regan Walsh territory. He's got a history against of scoring free kick against Canberra, Croatia. I think it was last year at Greenway. He got a couple, didn't he, Russ?
Yeah, well, Walsh is over it. Slavic is over it. Cam Doherty's over it. He's the least likely, of course.
It's my 100th game.
Yeah, I think he's... I mean, it would be some story if Cam Doherty struck this in the top corner. Walsh, it would seem to be. Slavic has ceded responsibility to Regan Walsh. Up over the wall. Decent free kick. Brilliant goal. Regan Walsh comes up with the goal we needed most. A captain's moment for the Tuggeranong skipper. And they're in the top 4 as we stand.
Sensational, Regan Walsh. What a free kick. No answer there from from Brown. He could not get across to that. He's popped that top corner, getting it over the wall. And, they've worked tirelessly, Tuggeranong, and right at the moment, we're looking at a top 4 with Tuggeranong and Belconnen in it, and Tigers outside that top 4.
A massive moment in the season. Regan Walsh picked the ideal time to score his first of the campaign. Eddie Coggins coming on for Andrew Slavic.
Coming off number 9, Jason Ugrinich, being replaced by number 2, Marko Vrkic.
And you could see what it meant, or hear what it meant to the Tuggeranong players and support as well. Tigers now looking for a Canberra Croatia response. 7 minutes plus stoppage time. Can they find one? Badac, you would not put it against this team, would you? They've scored late goals this season.
There's a history of late goals here at Deakin this season. Twice against Canberra Olympic and twice against Belconnen. So wouldn't be ruling the boys in red out just yet.
We've only got to look back less than 7 days to find out what Canberra Croatia have up their sleeves in stoppage time. 7 minutes plus. Pochi. Peterkin's there. Slams it into that scoreboard, which makes for happy reading for those of a Tuggeranong United persuasion at the moment.
Tuggeranong need to keep on playing, though. They can't afford just to sort of sit and have 11 players behind the ball, because this Canberra Croatia side will pick them apart if you give them the opportunity.
Pochi swings it in, good looking ball, but there's no one there in a red shirt, and Jacob Wiseman will no doubt take his time.
And we said, Russ, Regan Walsh has got a real history of scoring free kicks against Canberra Croatia. Last year, I think at Greenway, he popped in 2 really well taken free kicks, and then he stood up again today, and that's a real quality free kick, a real quality strike from a very experienced Tuggeranong defender.
Just goes to show how funny a football game is, isn't it? Andrew Slavic from 12 yards. Sam Brown saves it. Double the distance for Regan Walsh, and Brown couldn't get across to it.
He just wanted to keep us waiting, I think, Ross.
Can Tuggeranong hang on? Can they make it better for themselves? If they do, they'll be making this place a home for the next 3 weeks, which is where the top 4 finals will be held. Fixtures here against Canberra, Croatia, Gungahlin and Belconnen United, if they win. Still on a knife edge, though. Makes you wonder. That goes back to your thoughts earlier that you thought Walsh might have stood up for the penalty, Frank, as well.
Yeah, I mean, well, look, I think as far as dead balls go in Canberra, like dead ball specialists, there's not many, and Regan Walsh is one of the better ones. But, you know, like we said, you know, obviously Slavic was confident enough to take it. He, full credit to young Slavic after the miss. He really responded well. He's worked tirelessly, and we've ended up with a free kick outside the box. Regan's probably taken the advice of Cam Doherty. Cam probably just told him where to put it.
We did think it was rather soft call when we saw it initially, but we mentioned at the start of the broadcast that those kind of moments can define seasons and matches.
Absolutely, and that's not a criticism of the referee. But
not in the slightest. It's just football. That's the game that we watch, and that's the game we love, and that's why we do love it, because it hinges on moments like that. This is far from done, though.
Yes, and if you ask, you know, the question about, you know, Daniel Colbertalo might have just kicked out a little bit after.
Well, Marco Guy, I think it's Marco Guy or Smith who's going to get the booking here. Someone's going to get a booking, I think.
Yeah.
Someone will be lucky to escape one. No cards.
Okay.
Bit surprising there.
And you were asking me about the attitude of the Canberra Croatia boys. They're not giving up, and they've played their part in this game.
No one can consider that they haven't. They've certainly given it everything, haven't they? They don't want to lose this one. Oh, that's not pretty from Cole Bataldo. He's copping a yellow card for that. Frustration, I think, more than anything. He's caught a couple himself, hasn't he? And gives that one back.
And this is what I sort of mentioned a little bit before, Russ. You know, only probably about 10 minutes ago, is how Dean manages players on cards with a round robin series coming up.
Well, hang on a minute. Daniel Barac is in trouble here. He's going to cop himself 10 minutes in the bin, I think. He certainly is. I did mention, I think I've cursed them, because I did say that their discipline had been pretty good. Now they're going to be down to 10 for the last 3 minutes plus stoppage time. That's been coming for a while, though, you'd have to say.
Yeah, disappointing, isn't it? I'm not a fan of the rule. I know that you're not.
Every week we have this conversation.
But it's not the officials' it's not their fault that they have to administer the rule. I'm just not a fan of the rule.
Yeah, following the directive that they've been told to do. Well, Canberra Croatia are man light as they go searching for an equaliser, which would open the door for Tigers FC in the top 4. Jordan Lamb. Good foot in on the far side by Smith. Every tackle now cheered to the rafters by the Tuggeranong fans. They made the short journey to Deakin Stadium. It's out of play as well. Some of the more vociferous supporters in the NPL, let's say, Frank.
Easy for you to say. Yeah, some of the trips out to Canberra where you've got.
I was going to say, you would have copped a couple of choice comments down the years.
No, they were lovely people.
I never got any.
To be honest, I probably copped more here than I did at Tuggeranong.
Smith just hammers it out of play, and
probably
time
copped more from an Olympic crowd than the time.
90 seconds, and here's a statement of the attitude. Every single Canberra Croatia player, bar Michael Potri, has gone forward. Kishta is square of the ball.
They'd want to get onto Subasic and Gubrasic here. You got the young man, Truman, marking Gubrasic. He'd want to be...
60 seconds to go. Ball swung into the penalty area. It's come all the way through to Ryan Keir, and it's heartbreak for Tuggeranong United. It is joy for Tigers FC. Ryan Keir in stoppage time again for Canberra Croatia. What is it about this team? The league champions steal a draw.
Well, is it over? It's still 10 against 11. And you can't say Tuggeranong haven't had their opportunities. They've missed a penalty. They've been 1-0 up with literally seconds to go against 10 players.
For Canberra Croatia, number 6, Ryan Keir.
It is a sucker punch.
Croatia 1.
And Tigers FC are back in the 4. Ball hammered forward for Peterkin. He wins the header. Truman chases, but Sam Brown has it. More twists, more turns. Might be a short season, but it's been one filled with storylines. Kitty has it. We're into that stoppage time now. That goal came with less than 25 seconds on the clock. Would you credit it again? Ryan Keir, the coolest man on the park, steers one home and may well have preserved Canberra Croatia's unbeaten record. Will history repeat itself? They got 2 stoppage time goals. Cole Batalda's gone one from long way out. And it just faded at the last minute. That would have been an interesting one had it been on target.
It's a nice idea from Cole Batalda. Jordan Lamb was making a really good run down the right wing as well.
Wiseman hammers it forward. Oida gets a header in. Lamb infield. Doherty tries to get his side on the front foot. Subasic wins the header. Bit of a coming together, and there's a couple of unsavoury incidents over there, and there's an arm swung there by a couple of players, and it's all got a bit nasty. Frustrations boiling over. Giorgio Girardello may have seen that. Was there a swinging arm there?
I couldn't see it, Ross.
Too far away we are, aren't we? Referee's got it under control. Let's see what the upshot was. It's going to be more time added on. Just a little bit of common sense and telling everybody to calm down. Vrkic with the free kick. Bit of push and shove from both players. Flat delivery, flicked on by Colbertado. Lovely touch from Oida to find Lamb. Back with the flag goes up though. Offside. Great move again though.
That was a real opportunity for them to put this game to bed.
Tuggeranong will launch everybody up into this attack. Jacob Wiseman won't be going short, that's for certain. Smacks it into the night sky, looking for Harry Truman, who does win their header. Vrkic won it for Canberra Croatia. It's loose in midfield. Vienkum tries to bring it under control. Kishta's there, and he will stretch his legs and run away. Slides it to Cole Bataldo. Keir's made the run on this near side. Here is Ryan Keir. Lifted towards Jordan Lamb. He's still going to make it to Jordan Lamb, who couldn't get it under control, despite the slip by Smith. Time ticking away for Tuggeranong United. They will think this is a huge missed chance to make the top 4.
Oh, and it is, unfortunately, for Tuggeranong. If they don't get through, they'll be looking back at a number of opportunities that they've had.
Just switched off at the wrong time. And Ryan Keir steered the equaliser past Jacob Wiseman.
And that's the one time that really a 10 against 11 doesn't really actually give you much of an advantage, is when they had set pieces. So they could still get numbers forward. They're Canberra Croatia, and they did. And they just didn't mark up well enough. A number of players all went for the header. It left Ryan Keir standing there as the ball went over the top, and he just finished.
Well, Gerbischer was there with him as well, wasn't he? One of the two of them was getting on the end of it.
Well, you could see Gerbischer and Subasic going back post with Ryan Keir, and there's a lot of young guys actually marking them at that spot. So that's something that Mitch would probably look at now in hindsight.
Kitty launched a throw in. It's going to come away for Lamb. Slides it forward. Colbertado's got away here. He's got runners central if he can square it. He's fine, Nico Oida. This will put it to bed once and for all. Can Oida score? He's still working around with it. Kishta does, off the line. Oida's still there, blocked by Wiseman. Comes out for Kia, he hits the bar. Incredible series of events. How is that not gone in, Frank?
Unbelievable. Unbelievable there. Now,
The players were queuing up to score.
can we get Tuggeranong up to the other end?
Incredible stuff. Peterkin lifts it forwards. Gaia on the charge. This was from the position where he almost got in for the penalty, but it's going to run away. George Girardello looks at the watch, hands on the haunches for several players in the middle of the park.
That was the scrambling defence there from Tuggeranong. I know Keys hit the crossbar, but there was about 3 or 4 blocks before that. Nico Oida could have probably just hit that first time. He's took the extra touch.
Whistle in the mouth for Georgia Girardello, and she blows full time on Tuggeranong United's top 4 dreams. Dashed in the cruelest of manners in the final minutes by Ryan Keir. Tigers FC will take part in the top 4 series next week with Canberra, Croatia, Gungahlin and Belconnen. Tuggeranong will be in the bottom 4 series against Olympic, Woden Western, Monero Panthers. Frank, Tuggeranong's unbeaten record stretches to 5, but it's a scant consolation to them, isn't it, right about now?
Yeah, they'd be gutted right at the moment. They've done everything but win the game. Yeah, look, I think Canberra, Croatia dominated for large periods of time. They had a number of opportunities to score themselves, but to be 1-0 up with literally seconds on the clock against 10 men, that's really one that got away, and they'll know it. But full credit to Mitch Stevens and his side. They've had a great 7 games. They've really stood up, and this all bodes well for them in the future.
Bigger picture for them now, of course, is to take this form into the next 3 weeks against Woden Western, against Monero Panthers and against Canberra Olympic, and try and finish the season on a high.
Absolutely. And looking forward to the top 4 finals now.
And what can we say about Canberra, Croatia? Every single time we seem to come here, they have an answer to the questions that are posed. They might not play well throughout the full 90 minutes. They might not take all the chances they get, but you never, ever write them off.
No, you can't. And that's where you've got to give a lot of credit to Dean and his players, especially the senior players, that they showed a lot of character and a great attitude to continually looking for that winning goal or that equalising goal.
Thanks to you, Frank Casey. We'll be chatting a lot over the next few weeks or so as we head to the final series. And if it's half as good as what we've seen over the previous 7 rounds of this competition, we can't wait for that. Here, though, it's Tuggeranong United who've fallen by the wayside. A missed penalty from Andrew Slavic seemed to have been negated when Regan Walsh scored a free kick with 9 minutes to play. But in the cruelest manner possible, Ryan Keir, with 20 seconds left on the clock, steered home an equaliser for the league champions. That is why they won the trophy this season. That is why they're 24 times champions of this competition. The final score here, Canberra Croatia 1, Tuggeranong United 1.